Excellent.
And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another emergency episode of the Loves Gymnastics podcast. Yeah, that's right. I'm back to the Loves Gymnastics podcast. My bipolar ass can't decide the name of the show, so I'm just playing around. But right now, it's the Loves Gymnastics podcast. I'm back on the Loves Gymnastics team. And me and my lovely co host Oscar, are going to give our opinions over the the disgraceful bronze medal situation with Jordan Childs. Um, Tomorrow we will do a full show playing clips and the audios and Jordan's latest reaction, saying that she basically feel like they're treating her like this because of her skin color. And baby girl, me too. And but you're gonna get just this is just gonna be a heavily opinionated show. So if you are a person who cannot handle opinions, I'm so sorry, I don't know what to tell you. And if you're looking for the show on Twitter, I don't know what's going on with me and Restream and Twitter, but I figured out how I could just download the show and upload it to Twitter later on. So that's what I will be doing. So my Twitter people who love listening to the podcast over there on Twitter, don't worry, I got you.
Oh, that's clever. I'm glad you figured something out.
Correct. So with that being said, let's give these people an update of what has happened. Because I'm pretty sure there are some people who have lived underneath a rock, and they absolutely have. Hey RJ, hey everybody who's watching, who absolutely have no idea of what happened. So let's just start from the beginning. So about 2 months ago now.
Almost 2 months ago. It's the third week of September now. Hard
Yes,
to hard to comprehend that.
I know. Almost 2 months ago now, we had the Olympic Games, right? And we went through preliminaries, team finals, women's all around finals, women's high bar finals, where there's been little controversies, but nothing gets major. And we even had beam finals where basically everybody fell, and Alicia D'Amato didn't, and she won. And that even was entertaining, but basically the biggest controversy in it was they took a 3/10 neutral deduction from Simone for not saluting the judges long enough or something to that extent. But even that was pretty at the time. At the time, that was the biggest drama in the world. Like, why did they take a 3/10 neutral deduction from Simone? But that failed to compare to the travesty that happened at Florida Society. So Rebecca Andrade J surprisingly won Florida Society's final because she basically did not go out of bounds. And
Is that a
Simone
bigger
came.
surprise, or is the bigger surprise just that Simone lost? Because when was the last time Simone lost a floor final?
I know, right?
They're both pretty big deals, I would say.
When was the last time Simone made a finals and didn't come in first or third? Like that's Simone's T, like first or third.
I can think of 2018. That's when she won her silver medal on the uneven bars.
Uneven bars don't count. Any
Okay.
medal on uneven bars for her is a miracle. Um,
Maybe I'm sure she won a vault silver in the Rio quad. But
oh
if we're just
yeah,
talking about floor, I'm not sure what the parameters of this discussion are.
there is none. We're freestyle. So what happened was those two girls. We expected it to be a fight between those two girls, right? I don't think Rebe went out of balance. Maybe she just had some landing errors where she had like a 14-1 or a 14-1-6-6, something like that. and Simone went out of bounds like two big out of bounces and scored like a 14-1-3-3 and placed right behind Rebecca, whatever.
I can't remember what Rebecca's biggest
I can't think
visible
of.
error was. It might have been on like her memel or something, I feel like. But Simone not only went out of bounds, she landed out of bounds at least once, if not twice.
Yeah, I think she landed out of bounds twice. I think she landed out of bounds on her double layout and on her triple double.
Sounds right.
And I don't think Riri went out of bounds. Maybe she had like big, big step backs, or
She nailed her first pass, and I don't really remember the end of it. I know she took
or maybe it
a
was just
10
that
step
during
on her
Gojian.
double
Maybe it
time.
was just all the deductions came into Gojian, and that's just what I'm not remembering. I don't remember or whatever. So then after those two went, then we had the Battle of the Romanians, right? So then you had first had Sabrina Vonnier. She might have went before Simone, but I don't. The order of whoever went isn't important to the crest of this conversation. So then you had Sabrina Vonnier, and she had a really, really, really strong routine. Everybody, but they got Mama with this neutral deduction that certain podcasts swear up and down it's an out of bounds deduction. I don't know what it was for.
Have you heard anyone give a definitive answer of what the deduction would be for if not um, being out of bounds? Because all I've heard is like speculation, but no one acting as if they're confident that they know what the deduction was for and it wasn't out of bounds.
I mean, Jim Cassius thinks his afro was for out of bounds, and that's what everybody else thinks. I mean, I have no.
Right. I understand that that's the general consensus. Just I know that there are some people who are considering all the options, and I was curious if any of those people that you'd encountered have a strong feeling about what the deduction was taken for, because I haven't really encountered that.
Oh, yeah, it's me. I think she got the deduction for her tape job.
Okay, I've heard that from you several weeks ago. It's been a while since I've heard that.
I
Thanks for
think it's
reminding me.
because I know it's a deduction to have different color tape. Like your tape is supposed to be uniform in some way, shape, or form. The only reason I know this is because me, Tiki, when me and Addis was doing the show with who was interviewing all the fifth girls, they kept reiterating that it's a deduction if your tape is different colors. So like it's
Hmm,
important for um
that's very interesting. Do you know if well my that leads me to wonder if maybe that's just an NCAA rule,
it might.
but it's worth investigating for certain.
But I for sure have never seen anybody.
When you think of an elite gymnast performing with crazy tape job, who do you think of? I think of Kyla Ross in 2014.
But see, but the difference between what Kyla was doing and I think Anastasia, and the difference between what they were doing and what Sabrina did, Sabrina actually used two different like I don't know if she ran it out of one shade of tape and used a different tape. I don't know, but I've never seen anybody do that, and I'm just
Probably
like
for
that.
a good reason.
Absolutely. And when I saw it, I immediately thought to my mind, "That's weird.
That's suspicious.
Why is her tape job like that? Like that's not good. Like, but
And I mean, there's only so much to talk about with the tape job, but my basic understanding also for elite gymnasts was that you you have your tape that you use straight onto your skin or whatever, but then on top of that, most gymnasts would have a second roll of tape in a different shade that would um, theoretically be a closer match to the gymnast's skin tone.
correct. And what it seemed like to me was Sabrina didn't have enough of that tape that matched her skin tone. So it was just parts of. the other tape that you can see.
Right.
And I think, again, Jessica knows more than me. She literally was there at the arena while it was happening. So, I mean, I'm not saying what she's saying is incorrect. I really wish Camilla would have inquired about that. So, because she was nowhere even near out of bounds, so I don't even understand why people would assume it was for out of bounds when she was nowhere near out of bounds. Like, it wasn't even close. Like,
Would you be so kind to explain why um, why the rules are configured the way they are so that an inquiry of any kind, but specifically a neutral deduction inquiry, can't be re-examined after the competition has been completed, even if you're not going to change the results, but to get more clarity?
I'm not sure.
Seems like it would be helpful, right? And I can't think of a real downside to it other than potentially then you cause people, like a little bit of controversy if that indicates that someone else should have received a medal or the official standings are not what they should be. But I always prioritize clarity and transparency in these situations personally.
I do too, and that's the part that's very hard in this situation because it seems to me things are very clear and concise, but to a lot of people it isn't. And somehow, some way, A, because she's black, but B, because she's an American, she's now becoming the villain for fighting for what was justly due to her.
Totally agree.
Which is just very weird and just I don't understand. Like, people are still, even with the video evidence, like, okay, in the video evidence, okay, we're jumping too far ahead. I'm so sorry, everybody.
We'll get
So,
there. We'll get there. And we haven't really compared opinions, so we might not match up on everything.
correct. So Sabrina Verrier did her 13 and got a 13.8, but had a neutral deduction, so her score dropped down to a 13.7. Everybody was like, "That's weird," but a 13.7 is a big ass score. She should be okay.
Is that what we
Then
thought? I thought that, the 13th, I mean, I can't remember the order of how they competed, which would have a, is,
I think
which would be
Anna
very
went.
relevant. But I
I
was just
think
going to
Anna
say
went.
13-7 wouldn't have done shit in qualification if they used those results for the floor final.
Um, I think Anna Barbosa went first and got a 13.7 with an out. So Anna Barbosa literally went out of bounds and got an out of bounds deduction. So her score would have been a 13.8 as well, but got it out of bounds. She went out of bounds. So, like, there was no question. Mama went out of bounds and got an out of bounds deduction and got like a 13.7. Sabrina Bourrier had a very beautiful routine, did not go out of bounds, but got a neutral deduction and also got a 13.7. So that's the Romania. So keep in mind.
Interestingly, and I believe, someone correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that routine that Anna went out of bounds was her highest scoring floor score from the whole games, even though she had done a clean performance and stayed inbounds in the previous rounds of competition.
Correct, but I think Anna was getting credited for all of her leaps and stuff here. Where I think sometimes they are questionable.
I'm just saying that might be a bit confusing to like the average viewer. Like you went out of bounds, why is your score higher than it was before when you didn't? But yes, there's nuance.
There are nuance. And speaking of nuance, then you have Jordan. So Reedy is in first with a 14-1-6-6, something like that. Simone is in second with like a 14-1-3-3. Third is Ty at a 13-7. And then we have Jordan. And we're just going to be honest and we're going to speak on this conversation quite frankly and quite honestly. We're just going to have to call a thing a thing. Jordan probably did one of her worst floor routines of her life without falling. Like, nothing was really crisp except but that one damn Gojion jump, which was probably the best she's ever done that particular skill in her life. But
I'm pretty sure she did a very good job with her second pass, her 1.5 through to fall in. I'm gonna say it was probably the worst floor routine we've seen from her this whole 2024 season, not including the routines where she counted a fall.
absolutely, I can agree with that. And she still scored a 13-6 something, something, something.
I think it was a 666.
And I remember my exact reaction was like, oh well, she did her best. And I think I even tweeted something like, oh look at Romania getting a bronze medal, okay. And then as soon as I sent that tweet, I looked down and it was changing Jordan's score. And I'm just like, what happened? What happened?
Were
What's
you
going
like,
on?
oh, they robbed the Romanian girl? Was that your first thought?
No, as soon as Jordan's score was changed, I became extremely excited for Jordan. I was like, Team Jordan, bitch. Like, yay.
Of course, of course. I was teasing. Hi, Misha.
So
Good to see you.
so then they changed Jordan's score, and then Jordan was the bronze medalist. But then that should have been the end of the story, right? But that was not the end of the story because then you have this woman named Nadia Comaneci. And Nadia Comaneci decided to jump on the soapbox. And jump on the soapbox, Mama did. And Mama complained for 2 days straight on social media and
Day and night.
would not let up. You would think that, and this is the guy, and this is the if we're gonna call a thing, they were not champion for Anna Barbosa. They could give two fucks about Anna Barbosa. It was their queen princess Sabrina Voyer that they wanted that bronze medal to go to. That just fits every bit of propaganda that Romanian gymnastics could pull off. Like the mother gave birth to the next champion. Like that's what Romanian gymnastics wanted with all their heart and soul.
I
You know,
clearly remember, it doesn't mean that this is actually what happened, but from my experience, I clearly remember Nadia making a big fuss about Sabrina's score well before she mentioned Anna. And when she did start posting about Anna on Twitter, it was basically she took her tweets that she had posted for Sabrina and like just deleted Sabrina's name and copy pasted Anna in.
period.
What are your feelings about Anna mistakenly celebrating, thinking that she had secured the medal, and then being visibly upset still in the arena after the inquiry was changed? Do you have empathy towards her? Do you think those are just like the what's the word, the phrase? It's like those are the terms of the game. That's the rule of that's what comes with the territory. Competition.
Am I supposed to feel bad for Alice Kinsella because she thought they had the bronze medal as a team, and when she finished her being routine, she started celebrating until she realized, oh no, bitch.
No, because there was no inquiry. Those were the standings at the time. I think that's
But
a big difference in those two situations.
either way, right, you still supposed to watch the scoreboard, right? Let the competition end before you start celebrating, right?
Totally agree. And in fact, I'm feel quite confident that there's like some sort of precedent, if not the 2012 Beam final, where it's not over until it's over. I feel personally I have empathy for Anna, but I also think that the rules should be followed and she should be made aware of those rules. And competition is competition.
I personally feel like the Romanian Gymnastics Federation was like, oh no, we're not going to let an inquiry steal us of another bronze medal the same way it happened in 2012. And this is kind of why, again, I do feel like it's because Jordan is black. I do. I don't feel like they would push as hard if it was Jade Carey or Suni Salee or Leanne Wong or Jocelyn Robertson or
Grace McCallum.
she's a non-motherfucking factor in this conversation.
But she was on
Whoever,
the Olympic team.
not this one, baby. Um, Michaela Skinner did hell. Whoever it was, I don't feel like they would have fought as hard as they fought for Jordan because of that all-black podium celebration. That just did it. It was a culmination of, and y'all gonna celebrate this like this? Oh, fuck that.
I think that some people definitely took it as a sign of like disrespect or something, or just did not want to see black gymnasts being celebrated in that light, or
You
it
have
got
to
under their
understand.
skin that they were
And
even achieving
we're gonna get
success.
back. We're gonna get back to the meat and potato of the story, but pause. And this is a good pause. From my personal opinion, and this is why I want to do the show. That's why I said this is lots of opinions because this is just tomorrow's show will be the facts. Today's shows is the opinions. In my opinion, I feel like that podium more than anything else that happened at that Olympic Games represent what a lot of the people, the old ways, the people who love to spew the European lines bullshit, they do not. First of all, that was the oldest podium ever. That was the only black podium ever at the Olympics. Rebecca Andrade literally had braids in her hair. The Americans was bowing down to another country. Um, they consider all three girls fat in this sport. They do. They consider all three girls not the gymnastics body types. They consider all three girls not balletic, not artistic, not rhythmic. They consider all three girls to lack flex. Well, maybe not Rebe, but definitely. Well, maybe not Simone either, but definitely Jordan. She doesn't have the flexibility. They don't have the toe point. They don't have the lines. Um, and not only on that, they're also old. So they're basically vindicating the age change. I don't think another I don't think another podium really illustrate the change in gymnastics the way that podium did. And I think a lot of the old guards and the old heads, Nadia Comaneci, Nelly Kim, so on and so forth, because that's just not what they are used to. I'm supposed to compete at my first Olympics at 13 before I even get a period. I'm supposed to not have a period. I'm not supposed to look at boys. I'm not supposed to be looked at as sexualized. I'm supposed to be looked at as some little girl. Why these old ass men sexualize me anyways? Whereas this group of girls, yeah, I'm finna pop my ass. I'm finna twerk. I'm finna be on TikTok. I'm finna be a baddie. Like, it's just so the opposite of what some of these figureheads in gymnastics are used to, want, and it's not what they want at all. What they want. They want you to be Melnikova, you know, still the older ballerina instead of the young ballerina. They want you to be the older ballerina, the prima ballerina. Whereas the Americans is like, fuck that ballet shit, bitch. Kiss her ass. Damn your splits, bitch. Watch this triple double.
You want a ballerina? Don't worry. Betty Okino is training Jade Carey at the ballet bar.
Period. You want a ballerina? I give you Michaela Skinner. Now, going back to, do you have any opinions over that whole little rant right there?
just that I agree with basically everything you said, and that I think that those old gymnasts, those old European white gymnasts, are like clinging on to, or like trying their hardest to preserve um, this toxic fantasy of what gymnastics is and should look like, and anything that compromises that is a threat to that and needs to be shut down.
Correct. Now, so after Nadia Comaneci complained for 7 days and 7 nights on Twitter, it wasn't quite seven, but it definitely was at least two or three. It definitely was at least two or three. She started, other people in the heads of gymnastics started to pay attention because it was like, oh my God, I can't believe we got Queen Nadia upset. What happened? So Nadia was like, bitch, review this case. Mama didn't go out of bounds. And it was like, Nadia, we can't because, your good friend Camilla, she never inquired about that. She inquired about this torture they have that Sabrina did not get around and she's not going to get credit for. What's the tea? And the Romanians was like, bitch, fuck Camilla and Sabrina. How about Anna? And they was like, how about Anna? It was like, how about Anna? It was like, what about Anna? It was like, that American girl score shouldn't have been changed because her coach didn't give the inquiry in time, bitch, not fix it. And it was like, oh, hey, this is something. Okay. Let's fix this. And how about this? Well, not only are we going to fix this, we're not going to tell the Americans that we're fixing this, and we're going to tell them that we're going to court, but we're only going to tell them 3 hours before we actually go to court, and we're not going to let them get a chance to prepare evidence to prove. Yeah, we got you. It's fixed, bitch. It's fixed. And the way they fixed it at the CASs was that this decision can't be reversed in any way, shape, or form. And the Americans was like, huh? And they was like, bitch, I thought y'all was trying to get Sabrina the damn bronze medal. You mean something that y'all have never done before y'all gonna do, which is after the fact, change Jordan Child's score back to what it originally was?
Now, have you come across this theory that circulating that Romania was so traumatized from 2012 that they were ready, they had prepared for an exact scenario like this, where they knew that an inquiry had to be filed under a certain amount of time, and they had seen Ali Raisman file hers after too long, whatever they deemed too long, or according to the rules, or well, I don't think that could be correct because I'm pretty sure the rules were different at that time. But do you think, in short, that Romania was not going to let lose another bronze medal to an inquiry? And they knew that's why they knew about that timing was such an issue because I'd never heard of it until this. I'm just stirring the pot right now. I'm not saying I agree with
No,
that, to be clear.
I 100%. I hear what you say. I'm like that you're stirring the pot. Daughter, keep stirring, bitch. Keep cooking, bitch. You cooking up some good tea right now. I never put those two correlations together, but I absolutely can see that happening, and I absolutely 1,000% can see the Romanians like, it's the little nigger ass. She's not even Simone. Like, don't nobody's gonna care. I'm surprised they didn't have it. I'm surprised nobody haven't. I mean, some people tried to, but we kind of shut it down. But I'm really surprised, like the Romanians haven't went to the whole narrative of her mama stole this money from this damn other lady, so and Jordan's not going to steal this medal from Anna or Sabrina. Or
Ooh, that's a great point. How has that not happened? Or have we just not seen it?
I'm sure it happened. I'm sure I just haven't seen it. Like I've really like blocked a lot of people with this damn Jordan Child shit. Like, cause like fuck you and your damn opinions. Like your opinions, like ours, just like and okay. Pause. This is some more opinions. And we're gonna get back. Oscar, don't let me forget where I'm at because I'm kind of high right now. Let me put this joint down.
Where are you at though?
We're at the cast decision.
Okay, sure.
Jessica from Dreamcast is my friend. I love you down. I just sometimes I feel like some people because it would be hurtful if it was just because she was black. Don't want to acknowledge that the Romanians are going extra hard on her because she is black. Because I'm saying this, I don't believe they would go this hard if it was Jay Carey. I don't believe they would go this hard if it was Jocelyn Rose. I don't believe they would go this hard if it was any American gymnast that they deemed as having beautiful gymnastics. And I mean, I understand that we are the world, but a thing is a thing, and it's sometimes it's just very uh, off-putting hearing non-people of color discussing things that people of color absolutely feel like is racist. It's like sometimes when I hear them talk about this thing, it's like y'all are presenting the facts as y'all know them. Y'all are, just giving the details. But sometimes it's like listening to Fox News talk about George Floyd. Like,
So it's not so much what they're saying that's um, causing issue with you or having an issue with you. It's what they're not saying. Is that right? If you're talking, I can't hear you. I'm not sure if you are or not.
can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just kick me out the damn studio. Okay. Um, the thing is, like, I think in the latest episode of Dreamcasters, Jessica said something to the effect. I'm not saying this word for word of how she said it. Of something to the effect of some gym fans is trying to make it about race, which is stupid.
Oh wow, I haven't seen that.
She said something to that effect. She didn't. Those were the exact words that she said, but she said something to that effect. And it kind of was like, ugh, Jessica, like, I love you, but that, like, I'm gonna fight. Like, this is gonna be me and you gonna be beefing like you and Tiki beefing, but it's like, girl, like,
In what world would it not have to do with her race?
they're thinking it's because she's an American. I from the gist of what I'm getting from, it's more of a nationality thing, which I agree with. I do think it's because it's an American. I do think it's because she is an American that the Romanians are fighting. But I also think it's because she's a black American that they're fighting this hard. I think if it was Jay Carey, once they told them no with Sabrina, they wouldn't have went, oh, Anna. They would have been like, oh, okay. Because even though Jay Carey is the exact same type of gymnast that Jordan Childs is, for somehow, some way, she's looked at it as artistic.
So if
Even
you
though
were
they're both,
to, oh sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh no, no, I'm done. Go ahead.
So if you were to try to convince someone like Jessica, not that you have to, or maybe you have no interest in doing that, so let me know if that's the case. But if you were to attempt to convince someone that this was as much about race as it was about nationality, how would you go about that?
I mm, I couldn't, and that's the issue with sometimes with these things when it's about race, it's more of a feeling than anything else.
I think it's
And
really relevant how Jordan feels, and she's given interviews. I mean, not lengthy ones, but we know that she feels that it's just as relevant.
exactly, and I think she said that because she heard what Jessica said, and she had to make it clear, like, yeah, it's all of that too, but primarily it's because they don't want this all black podium. Like we celebrated too hard. We was too ghetto for them. And I
Do you know
also
if,
feel like go ahead. I'm so sorry.
well, mine was a bit in a different direction what I was going to ask. I was going to ask if you if you know if Rebecca has acknowledged the situation in any form now that Simone has.
I don't, but I'm pretty sure Rebecca is hoping that this doesn't make them force them to child why didn't y'all set Simone's inquiry over her damn Gojira too.
That makes
Because
sense.
Simone's Gojira was way closer. I mean, I would have given Simone's Gojira credit. I mean, and if y'all gave Jordan's credit, then why not give Simone's credit? Like, and it just goes to the whole shit fest and clusterfuck
Right. Do you remember what you were trying to say
about.
just prior to when I brought up Rebecca just now?
I do not.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Is don't be sorry. I remember when I watched the show back and be like, damn, I should have said this. Uh, Going back to Cos. So then, Jordan and them was like, hey, we have some evidence. And it was like, bitch, we don't care. It's too late. And they were like, bitch, but y'all didn't give us enough time. And they were like, bitch, I told y'all it's too late, ho. You were no longer the bronze medalist because you came in fifth place. And this is the Don Doc. So then the Simone Biles people was like, well, we got this everything on camera, right? And it was like, we know we was trying to get them to let us show y'all this. It was like, okay, we just gonna go to the Swiss Federation to the Olympics. So that's where we're at now. So this is the evidence that Jordan and her team presented, and it was like, guess what, bitch? So it could be very clear. We're gonna make this shit public, bitch, and let everybody know that we did not cheat. Cecile did everything right, and I should be the rightful bronze medalist because they accepted my inquiry, bitch. It's not my fault, bitch.
Now, I have some opinions about this new footage.
Let's go.
I have lots of questions to start with. Um, and one of those questions is about something you just raised, which is did you say that the okay, I can't even remember what you just said. I'm so sorry. Short-term memory loss. But one of my questions, how do we know um my first question watching it was how do we know for sure that that is the correct person, that the correct person that Cecile needed to talk to in order to file an inquiry? Secondly, I was wondering if the inquiry was, if Cecile saying Jordan's name was enough for the inquiry to be recognized. If that's, I don't know the, goodness, what's the word?
And
Not
Jim Cassidy talked
formality.
about that yesterday on their show, with their little brief 10-minute show. And every other Olympics is some kind of official thing where you actually have to find the inquiry to get it submitted. But for whatever reason, at this Olympics, they weren't doing that. They were just taking verbal, I'm submitting an inquiry, okay? And Cecile did
So
it. Go ahead.
did Jim Castic? I'm just curious now if there's a precedent. What would be the example from the 2024 Olympics prior to Jordan where an inquiry was accepted based off of this like comparable information and not all of the information.
That would be a great question to ask them people. I have no
Just
clue.
just if they're claiming that that's correct, you know, if that's what the case is.
Okay, well, let's think about it. Who else had an inquiry accepted at this Olympic game?
Oh gosh.
Exactly. So you have to go back to who had an inquiry accepted and what was their process of getting that as inquiry delivered. Which I'm so sorry, Oscar. You brought that up. So you research that and you bring that back. Everybody, we holding Oscar accountable. Oscar brought up a very good topic.
You
And
know, like
as
I could see Cecile being like Jordan and like them being like, that's nice, like who is Jordan? Or like that's actually you need to give a score, you know? Like also then the another question or that arose for me was like, what are they what are they talking about when they switch to French? I don't speak French. But like how can we as a non-French speaker, how can we assume that the things went smoothly and as they were supposed to go?
when who was speaking French? When Cecile and Laurent were speaking to each other in French?
That would be interesting as well. But I meant, I think that the person, that the official that Cecile approached, spoke to her in French in the footage.
Oh.
And then Cecile kept saying Jordan. Then she finally said something more in French. And I think that Gymcastic was like, I'd either translated or they were speculating that she was giving a number, a D score that she thought that Jordan should be credited with. But again, this is all just like a bunch of unknowns to me as a non-French speaker. And I'm surprised that there wasn't like immediately a translation circulating with the footage.
But I think that's one of the issues with this particular Olympic Games is that every other Olympic Games there has been some kind of official. Give me some papers. I'm signing the papers. Here you go. I remember at even at 2012, um, Mihai had a handful of money with the papers and had to run off.
Exactly.
At this Olympic Games, though, according to gymnastics, because they interviewed Cecile, they didn't interview Cecile. They talked to Cecile, and Cecile gave them an answer. You know, we should try that. I know Cecile likes me. I think she follows me, or at least I'm gonna ask Cecile to come on. Well, at least ask her questions and see if she'll answer the damn questions. Um,
Cecile,
I
come answer our questions.
I wonder if Gina could. I know Gina will answer. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try
Let's
it with Gina.
let's let's conduct a panel of Gina Childs, Cecile Landy, Coquette or whatever, and Camelia Voynia.
Now we might as well add Nadia Comaneci to that. Kathy Johnson. Oh, well, I mean, if Kathy Johnson could hook it up for us, she would do it for her own damn podcast.
I'd be
Kathy and
very
Bridget.
curious to see
Kathy
if
and
they.
Bridget. When y'all have y'all downtime, hire a bitch like me. I'll come fill in for y'all. Me and Kathy could shoot the shit about some 80s gymnastics, Bridget. Now, one of the things else I think is very interesting about the evidence that they presented is, do we start counting from the time Jordan got her score? Do we start counting from the second? Well, it has to be from the time Jordan got her score, right?
I started counting from. Actually, I was a bit. Well, I did it both ways, and I don't think it makes a difference. I counted both from the time. The first thing I did was I counted from when the score appears on the screen, and then I 1 or 2 seconds prior to that, I think Jordan reacts actually. So I'm assuming she saw her score go up in the arena or something.
And is the time that the score was shown on the screen the exact time that the score was announced, or
I don't think it could be after it showed up. So either when it shows up on the screen or a few seconds prior. But it's possible, I guess, now that you bring it up, that Jordan didn't see the score immediately when it was posted in the
correct?
arena, and there's even more time.
Correct. Because maybe it's when they actually displayed the score in the arena, and it could have taken Jordan like 5 or 10 seconds to actually see the score because she was sitting down. She knew she didn't do her best routine, so she probably didn't think she had a shot. Like if she thought she was going to win, I'm pretty sure she would be standing up looking at the scoreboard for the second it popped up. She knew she didn't do her best routine possible, so she didn't think she had a chance. So she wasn't really like looking like that. So when she finally looked, she was like, "Oh, okay, 13-6. That's not bad. Okay,
Can I ask Nisha a question quickly?
sure."
Nisha, do you think that Jordan's 13,666 original score was too high? Because I know that you do not feel that Jordan should be awarded this score, and you thought that you're a fan of judging things with your eyes, as you've let us know. I think I have a memory of us discussing the floor final shortly after it happened, and you thought that Jordan's 13,666 might have even been too high. I just would love a confirmation on that. I'm curious about that. Thank you. Nisha says, Michaela, you just made my point. Which point would that be?
Oh my God, what point did I make? I just talked about it. Like, girl. Um,
Specifics. We need specifics, Nisha. Please.
13 forces. Wow. Nisha.
Okay.
Gosh. So we see why Nisha is not a birthday judge. Wow, of course. I mean, no, if I'm going to be honest, if I'm going to be honest, I didn't expect Jordan's score to be even that close. Like, I thought it was going to be, I mean, Jordan, she had a big ass pop on her first time to pass. She was very wonky on her wolf turn. Um, she was very short on her last pass. I mean, her leaps are never at full split. I mean,
I think that they, in my eyes, my untrained eyes, the area where you could potentially take the most deductions was the first landing, because her legs rebounded so that they were like, it looked to me like they were
terrible.
above her hip height, which should be at least 3/10, if not 5/10.
Plus her wolf turn. That was the worst wolf turn she did at the whole Olympics. Gosh. I thought she was going to go for it. It looked like she was going for a triple, then just stop. Like, and I think she had enough rotation that she should have tried for that extra tenth of a point on that damn wolf turn instead of the damn Goshen.
What do you think is, this is such a loaded, obnoxious question, but I'm still gonna ask it anyway, and you can ignore me if you want. But what do you think is the reason that Jordan was able to put such a fabulous routine in one phase of competition in the team final, and then her next routine wasn't as good?
Nerve.
Nerves. Okay, makes
She was
perfect
the
sense.
very last person that Simone went out of bounds twice. She knew what her very, very, very best routine possible of her life. I don't think a 14-2 was an unreasonable score for her.
And it also is her first individual Olympic final of her life.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm glad we discussed that because that helps me.
And I think what she was doing was trying to be perfect everywhere.
So going back to the footage, do you share any of the concerns that I tried to explain about maybe Cecile didn't do exactly what she was supposed to do? Not talking about the timing, talking about what she said and who she talked to.
I don't think so because if they just literally did that exact same procedure for Simone.
Oh, see, I don't know anything about Simone's inquiry. I'm not even sure why it wasn't accepted. I think it was too late to be accepted. Is that
It
what it
was
is?
too late. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, what happened was, if we're going to be honest, my understanding is Laurent put in an inquiry for Simone. He did the same thing. Inquiry for Simone. Inquiry for Simone. The person was like, "Oh, you're doing an inquiry for Simone. Fill out the paperwork." He filled out the paperwork, and the lady just never submitted it.
So why do you feel so confident in saying that Simone's inquiry was filed in the same way as Jordan's? I never saw that inquiry be submitted.
Because when Laurent was coming back and explaining to Cecile, again, it was in French, and somebody kind of halfway interpreted it. He was like, "These stupid motherfuckers can't do shit right. They didn't even file the damn fucking inquiry or something like that." And 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 then Cecile was like, "What?" And then he was like, "Yeah." Then she was like, "What about Jordan?" And he was like, "What?" He was like, "Yeah, Jordan. They gave her a 5.8. I think it should be a 5.9." He was like, "I don't know." She was like, "You think we should try?" He was like, "I don't know," because he was so frustrated over what happened with the ball. And then she was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go try." And she ran over and was like, "Inquiry for Jordan, inquiry for Jordan."
Okay. To me, that does not seem like it is totally clear that it was the same. Do you know what I mean? Like we don't know that he didn't go up to an official and say, Simone Biles, here's the exact number, here's what we wanted, all the information. And Cecile maybe didn't do what she was supposed to.
I'm pretty sure Simone is going to talk about her inquiry situation with her damn TV show thing.
Yes, I'm so excited to watch. That will be on the 25th, a week from yesterday.
And Simone doesn't feel like she won, so she didn't really care. Now, I feel like if Simone felt like she won and it was an error, she would have fought harder. But I don't think she felt like she won, so she was cool with Ruby winning.
Who knows? I mean, she could be saving face, but I'm not terribly interested in dissecting that personally.
Me either. The so yeah, that's where we're at in the Jordan Child situation. Um, I feel like, but okay. So do you feel like her saying inquiry for Jordan was not good enough? That's your feeling.
No, my feeling is I'm very curious if that is good enough, and I don't actually know the rules. And by not knowing the rules and not having anyone explain this part of the rules clearly, a reliable narrator, um, it leaves room for the possibility that it wasn't the correct way to go about it. That's what I've been trying to say. It's more pot stirring, shit stirring.
Um,
Did you see any clips from Jordan's interview with Forbes magazine?
no, I haven't watched it yet. I haven't looked for it yet.
She gets quite emotional in it.
I seen Jordan do a handspring double twist in front.
Oh, that's great. I saw Simone train that, but not Jordan.
It was Jordan. I saw on the GOAT tour a handspring double twist in front.
Did you also see Simone's?
I didn't see someone do any tunnel passes.
Yeah, I mean, she was doing them onto a mat in a pit, I think, at WCC. In
No,
the
see,
videos.
Jordan was on at the first thing she did a handspring double twist in front. I'm hoping that's her first tunnel pass for NCAA.
Have you seen that there's already um, footage of the entire show posted onto YouTube?
Really? Wow.
I think I sent it to you and Urza.
I
And I was
damn
like,
sure.
I don't want to, pardon, I was about to watch. I was so excited, so grateful that it's posted on YouTube for everyone to see. Um, like, shout out to that person who posted it. But then I was like, there's still like let's say like 2% possibility that I might go to the tour when it comes to New York. So I was like, oh, I don't want to ruin all the gags and surprises. So I'm sitting on it right now until I'm sure I'm not going. But then I was like, oh gosh, what if this is so the type of great content that's going to get scrubbed by the time I get around to
What
watching it?
if it's gonna get scrubbed? It's gonna get you better decide what you better do very shortly for it, because
or you could download it for me like a real good Judy.
I was thinking I'll download it. I'll download it. I'll do it
That would
tonight.
be sweet.
Ezra is probably in school. I'm not sure.
I think they're really into school from what I gathered.
Yeah. Ezra is also working on his NCAA 2025 presentation, updating you all on the girls and the teams y'all should be paying attention to.
Oh,
And
fabulous. I hadn't heard about that. I'm really glad to hear that. Do you have any idea when we might be able um to view it?
we might, we normally do it in like November, getting the people ready. So he has time. Um,
Amazing. Because I don't know, there's a lot of new faces that I just have never heard of, like the level 10 gymnasts that just did
and for
not make it
anybody
to
who's
me.
concerned about where Ezra is at, his ass will pop back up during NCAA. That child is again. He doesn't care about elite gymnastics like that. But the NCAA, oh, he knows it all.
That's really his thing, his specialty.
Okay, so I asked Oscar to just let's make the show an hour today because I just getting off of work and I'm tired and so on and so forth. But oh, it's been an hour. But no, I said an hour and a half. Oh, never mind. We're good. So let's talk about this. NCAA. So Kalia Lincoln is competing at LSU this year.
I don't know why you didn't think she was.
I thought she was going to defer and stay. I don't know.
No, she's been there
Damn,
for like at
Yevgeny, I'm
least a
so
month.
wow, Yevgeny, I'm so sad that you lost your two best gymnasts.
I think that Kalia said she wasn't ruling out the 2025 elite season.
But normally, do LSU have a like Florida does? Like, cause I know, like, I think Sky is gonna train at Florida. Like, I think she's left Yevgeny and says she's gonna like continue her career, but just at Florida. Like,
Wait, when did she say that? Why do you think that?
she's posted a whole goodbye message to Yevgeny and everything on her Instagram.
Let me read it. I'm sure I saw it when she posted it, but let's let's dissect it. Because
Plus,
that
Florida
would be sad. I kind of want her to go and have more success with Yevgeny.
Yevgeny needs to still Gabby, and I'm gonna still say that.
I know. I think that makes sense. Also, did you see that they're in Milan, Valeri and Anna? What if they went to train at the Italian national team?
That would be good for them. So we're from America.
This, I definitely read this as she's done with Woga. 3 years old to 19, 16 years with Woga Gymnastics. I've learned so much in the gym, but more in life. Thank you, Yevgeny and Sonia, for helping me reach my dreams and the best teammates to help me keep going. Much love. And then it's like an arrow to Gainesville, Florida.
Yeah,
Okay, okay, she's done with that.
and I'm just saying I don't know if LSU have that same kind because like Florida has is really smart with them keeping their
No, I
elites because
think
they have.
LSU trained a few elites. I can't. I'm not sure who it is. I bet if we like named a bunch of names, I could name some, and then a bunch that aren't. I don't know about Aaliyah though. What she? I don't. What did she do?
She went to the Olympics.
No, but where did she train for the Olympics?
I think she trained at LSU.
That's yeah. That's what I would guess. So
I don't think she went back to Alfonso. No,
I thought my understanding was that LSU has one of the nicest gyms in the country.
they do, but what I'm saying is I don't know if LSU have that same kind of elite level program that Florida has. Like Florida and UCLA have really good programs for their elites to like train there for. Like they don't need to go back to their home, even though Caleb DeSello decided to. They don't necessarily need to go back to their home gym to get that same level of elite training. Whereas I don't
Hmm.
know if you have that for Kalia Lincoln. But I
Like an
mean,
agreement? Sure. Yeah, I don't know either, but I think that I would be surprised if
I
they
take it all
wouldn't
back.
agree
Take it
to
all
like.
back. I take it all back because they was about to train Connor to the Olympics. So I take it back because Connor chose to train with
That's
LSU.
such a good point. Couldn't think of that.
So yeah, damn
Where did
Evgeny
um where did Jessica Lopez train?
in Colombia. I don't know.
No, she trained at a college in the United States.
Oh, she went to the University of Denver, so it was must have been there.
Okay. Do you think Connor's done with her elite career, Nisha?
I don't think so. I think she's gonna chill out. Mm, man, this damn 2028. I know we're jumping too far ahead, but that 2028 team might be even more harder than this team to make because was this team a hard team to make? Once people got injured, it kind of became very clear, didn't it?
Um, there just weren't as many um like all the girls who got injured were from the top of the pack, I feel, not the bottom half.
Oh,
So,
absolutely.
like I was surprised looking at the Olympic trials, 13 gymnasts, and like Kalia Lincoln, she was I was so surprised. It was the first competition she's competed at since 2021 American Classic that she did not place first or second on floor. She was fifth, even though one of her days was the highest floor score besides Simone's. So she just had a subpar second day or something. But then she was able to place sixth on bars at the Olympic trials because of all those injuries, I guess. And she was ninth on beam, ninth as an all-arounder. She very much like if you look at those scores, I mean, she's just if you look at a team where you take you choose the gymnast based off of who's like in the top five on each event. She doesn't have a top five event besides floor, but she's very much on that next team. She's nothing below out of 10th place. Ninth place is the worst. And she's just like, there were so many better all around gymnasts. To me, at the beginning of the season, she was never going to be in that position. So, and she wasn't. I don't know, that was long winded.
No, I get what
But
you
the trials were kind of weak, I think.
for Kalia Lincoln.
No, I think the American trials, like it was less than it was supposed to or was going to be. People thought it was going to be, or
Again, because all the
the
best girls
potential.
got not I'm not gonna say the best girls, but the top group of girls got hurt. Like I mean, Scott Blakely and Charlize Jones were going to the Olympic Games. Fuck what you
Exactly.
heard.
So I'm just saying that the bottom half
And
of
Kayla
girls, some of
DeCello,
them
if she
were
wasn't
bumped up.
on, yes, and Kayla DeCello, if she was not on the main team, she definitely was a traveling alternate. So
If she hit for certain.
I think she was on the team over Jade Carey. I'm sorry, I do.
But she wasn't super consistent.
She didn't need to be. She helped on the events that she needed. She needed a
But I'm
backup
just,
ball.
you think they would have taken her if she had been healthy and fallen on her best events at the trials?
Okay, now like this is gonna be controversial. What are her best events?
She falls on bars and floor.
Oh no! I mean, them the two events that she
Because
has
she
to
hit
do.
earlier in the season, like no, she needs to hit to make that team or be an alternate, in my eyes, my opinion.
I mean, but what she was given on floor was going to be more than Jay Carey was going to give on floor. And because of Scott Blakely, they really didn't need Jay Carey on ball. So I don't think Jay Carey would have been on this team.
Do you remember what Jade ended up scoring on floor at the trials? Because I have it in front of me. I'm looking at the results.
I think her best score was a 13.8.
On She scored on day one a 14.075, and on day two she scored a 14.150. This the same as Kalia Lincoln on day one, which was the best non-Simone score. So do we think that was a legit 14.150?
No.
Okay.
I mean, she did great. I think at the Olympics, if she would have been able to do her full difficulty, she would have been right there, like 13.9, 30. She would have been ahead of Jordan. I think she would have. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure.
That wasn't like her, or do you think that 14.15, the performance was her best of the season because she was like getting better and better, right? Because she wanted to peak at the Olympics.
I mean, her best performance of the season was that performance she did at Oregon State, where she got a 10 on 4. That was the very best 14 that I've ever seen Jay Carey do in my life. But she was only
That
doing two tumble passes and no leaps, and well, one leap pass and no turn. So there's that too.
no, but it's legit what you're saying about that. That's like the cleanest performance of the season.
It's definitely her most artistic 14 she's ever done in her life.
So can we talk about how excited I am about the Georgia lineup? There's so many gymnasts that I was already individually rooting for who now have a new home at Georgia.
I'm scared for Georgia because they might. A lot of the times when a team gets like a bunch of new superstars at once, it could be a great thing, or they could be like Florida, where just it's a waste of talent. Like no team, no
Yeah.
shade for my team, but y'all, everybody know what the fuck I mean when I say that. Like Florida gets all the recruits for like one of those girls to compete all 4 years and everybody else medically retire. Like, and they'd be like, damn, Florida, how about you recruit these girls when they turn 17 instead of promising them scholarships at damn 11, bitch, so they know who are, like, are we here? Do you think Morgan Hurt retired? I think she did.
Is Jenny the coach at Florida?
Jenny Rollins, I think so.
Is Jenny talking to her recruits nowadays, like about how stacked the lineups are already and the probability of them making the lineups?
Are the lineup stacked?
But they're just like, there are a lot of people to pass. Like, you think that anybody, just if they hit their routine, is going to get that spot?
Over who?
Leanne Wong, Anya Pilgrim, Selena Harris, Kayla DiCello, Victoria Nguyen.
Depends on what it meant.
Okay, but like, come on, you must see what I'm saying about if I was a gymnast, I think I would want to, it would come up if I care how much I cared about being able to compete. Or is it just about being on a team that I like?
I would take my chances because with Florida's reputation, three of those six gymnasts are going to be hurt by the time it comes postseason, so I'll have a chance to compete.
I think that's such a risky perspective if you're actually a gymnast, though. Not like from a non-gymnast point of view, you know.
Hey, that seems to work very well for. Oh, I was about to be shady. Never mind. Let me shut up.
So who do you know that's at Georgia? I know Kara Aker is there. I think Jeffrey Scott is there.
Jeffrey Scott is there. Now Khalees Wolford is there.
Is she gonna compete this season though?
Yeah, I think so.
Damn, that's so last minute. Didn't she just announce or something?
But she was already announced to go to Clemson, but she's changed schools.
Right, that seems last minute to announce it. I don't know if it
I
happened that
mean,
recently.
she just probably is telling us she probably been at college in Georgia and we just never knew. We thought probably thought she just was.
um, can you name anyone else on that team?
I know it's not Victoria Wynn who they got recruited, but she switched schools.
Didn't Alyssa Bauman's sister Rachel Bauman, is that her name, also do that? But to a different school?
Yeah, she went. They both went to Florida.
Oh, I'm looking for the roster. We have Jada Battle. I've heard of her, but I
Hold
don't know
on,
what
hold
her
on.
gymnastics looks like.
I gotta argue with Nisha for a second. Nisha, don't do that because at least she made alternate with Florida. With Alphonse, she wouldn't have even done that.
Probably not. But she did make it with him once. So do you know who Jada Battle?
No.
Okay, I don't really. Senge Bakse. I know her. She's I think she's Hungarian. She's competed for Hungary. Do you know her?
No.
She competed at the Youth Olympics in 2018, at the 2021 World Championships, 2022 World Championships, 2023 World Championships, where she made the bars final. And then she also competed at the 2024 Olympic Games, where she was the third reserve on bars.
Dope.
Nia Howard, another name I'm familiar with, but not the gymnastics. Lily Smith. Lily Smith is a fantastic gymnast. Holly Snyder, Addie Wall. Yeah, those are people I've heard of but don't know. Well, I'm excited to watch them compete.
I think this season I'm going to really focus on LSU. Yeah, Nisha, I'm jumping on the bandwagon. OU. I love Kentucky. I love Kentucky.
Who do you love there? Like, give me three names.
I can't do that for you. I just love.
I love I think Delaney Rodriguez is at Kentucky. She is
Uh,
really good at sticking landings.
I think I'm going to get off the Florida bandwagon. I'm tired of them breaking my heart every year with a bullshit.
You
Even though
can
I'm
just
happy,
root for individuals like Leanne.
even though I'm happy they have Selena Harris this year.
Which conference is UCLA?
They're joining whatever conference that Michigan and Missouri's in. I'm not
Like
Missouri,
one of
Michigan.
those Big Ten ones?
Yeah, whatever Michigan and
So do you know
Minnesota.
if it's just a gymnastics thing, or does it mean all sports at UCLA are in a different conference?
All sports from UCLA are in the pack. Big, whatever.
The Pac-12, Pac-10?
Just like all sports, like all of Oklahoma moved to the SEC this year, not just gymnastics.
Oh, so all of UCLA is not in the Pac-12 anymore. They're in the Big Ten.
Correct.
Wow.
And they're moving them around not for gymnastics reasons, but for football reasons for real, because they feel like it's more competitive in these other divisions for their football program, which is who they really care about.
Do you think that the teams who are, I don't know, not doing as well as the other teams in the SEC right now are unhappy about Oklahoma being added?
Absolutely. I mean, they already had little to no chance already between LSU and Florida and Alabama.
But
And now they
now they're probably not even going to be able to advance as far as they used to, maybe.
now those three schools need to be shaking in their boots because of them OU. Like, yeah, the SEC is just ridiculously stacked.
Or I guess all of the teams get the opportunity to compete at the conference championships, but not all of them get to go to nationals. Is that
It
right?
depends, it depends on the playoff situation. It's going to be harder now.
What are the playoffs again?
Oh, the conference champ. No, the conference championship things that they do.
Like the
No,
SEC
the
championships?
regionals. That's the playoffs. The regionals.
Are regionals separate from SEC championships?
Yes, but you qualify through the playoffs through SEC, so that's where it's going to be harder. Where I think it's four schools advance from each conference. So for the SEC, it's just going to be every year. OU, LSU, Florida, maybe Alabama and Georgia rotate sometimes. I don't know.
Do you remember in the beginning of the summer, I think, or maybe around like the classic this year, didn't Shilese say that she had an announcement that she was going to reveal?
I don't remember.
And some people were like joking that it was going to be about Florida, but it probably wasn't. It was going to be like, I'll continue to 2028 or a business deal, but I can't remember.
Ooh, I heard some tea about Charlize and her damn college scholarship that I could never tell. But ooh, ooh.
Did you see Ondine Ashampong is at Cal?
Start school this year too.
Sorry?
She should this should be her first year in the NCAA too.
Right. And I think Tanya Paulson, who's like a great gymnast from Sweden, is going to Cal also.
Yes. Why do you think
Is
they call it Cal and not Berkeley? I think if they call it Berkeley, I think people would recognize it more like, oh,
I know. I didn't know it was Berkeley for a long time.
I didn't know it was Berkeley for a long time either. Or at least call it both Cal Berkeley so a bitch can recognize who the what.
Oh, I just had a question about, was it about Tanya Paulson? Cal. Oh, I can't remember.
And somebody asked me to do a video about the rule changes for next season. I'll try. I'll try. That's all I
Like
can
the
say.
elite rules, the code.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh. Do you feel like you understand them?
I haven't even began to pay any attention yet, so I have no idea.
Me neither.
All I know is they didn't change the vault start values, which is good.
Oh, I remember. Is Tiana competing for UCLA?
I don't know if Tiana graduated high school yet or
No, me. I don't know either. That's why I was asking.
not. I think her. No, she Ashley is younger than Tiana. I'm not sure.
I can't
What school?
remember which year she turned senior.
Tiana?
Was this your second year senior?
Yes.
Her and Jocelyn both turned seniors in 2023.
Yes.
No, I think Jocelyn turned a senior the year before in 2022. I think she had like one mid senior season.
Maybe.
Let me double check because I think Jocelyn's going. She's already at Arkansas.
Yes. Well, I think Jocelyn's on the GOAT tour first.
Yes, she became age eligible in 2022. That's when she committed to Arkansas. So Tiana's a year younger.
So she'll be eligible next year to go to college.
Tiana's committed to UCLA, and I think Madre is the same year as Tiana, Madre Johnson, but I don't think she's committed anywhere yet.
Well,
Did you
Oscar,
see anything about? Did you see that Chinese individual nationals happened?
no, I haven't watched it. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow night at work. I was saving that specifically to watch when I work overnight.
Great. Did you ever watch the Russian Cup from like a month ago?
No, I haven't paid that shit no attention. I just saw one or two clips on.
I haven't watched either. The scores from Chinese nationals look really low. I think one gymnast tried a Yurchenko 1.5 and sat down on it, and that was the hardest vault of the competition. Everyone else, the hardest was a full twisting Sukahara 4.4.
That's what the Chinese people know for.
But that's just crazy. Your whole country, you're such a powerhouse. You were. You have so many resources, so many gymnasts, and you don't have one Yurchenko double twist.
Like, bitch, we don't need that.
I wish they had a girl who just did vault and like was a great vaulter. They do have girls that
Still
just do
waiting
vault.
for her on the team. They still waiting for no teams.
I guess they don't even want her at like the national competitions.
Period. They be like, bitch, you can't do unos and leans, bitch. We don't give a fuck. Right now, the Chinese are stuck on layout Jaeger for whatever reason.
Yeah, they have so many.
I mean, it's a beautiful release skills, but learn a
It's worth
downy,
an F.
learn a downy, learn a shang, learn a. What I'm so surprised about the Chinese gymnasts is we see a lot of the onos, the leans, the inverted skills,
Do they have endos?
the endos. Well, we used to see a lot of endos, not anymore. But
Yeah, that was the question.
we rarely see M bars from the Chinese gymnasts.
Well, I feel like they're starting to add them more into their routines ever since like Wei Xiaoyuan. She brought them back. Because now you have like, I can think of Hu Jiafei and Huang Zhuofan, who was fourth on bars at Worlds before the Olympics. And Qiu Tiyuan has in bars.
They lose them so quickly too.
Has anyone competed any type of shaposh into a Shang besides Becky, Downey, and Simone Biles?
I mean, you said Simone. Um, I think at one point in time, maybe Elizabeth Sykes was doing a chow into Downey.
Wow. And why isn't um, Amy Chow credited with the L grip endo full pirouette on one arm?
Because she wasn't in L grip, she was in Miss grip.
Not reverse grip, like her hands were in different grips?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm so blind. I can't tell that apart. So
Well,
what
friend,
would
I'm often going to sleep. So let's wrap this show up. Ooh, I'm dozing off.
what was
Um,
the value of it with mixed grip? A D?
I think it's a C under this Corona points.
Oh, okay.
Now, if she was in inverted, it would be an E.
And it could be named after her because it has to be a D to be named after you, or a C.
C plus.
So yeah, why isn't that a Chow? because that's Huang Xiaoshuang in like 20 in the London quad. She was doing it, I think, from Algrip though.
But she was doing a lean. She was doing an endo L grip into Ono turn, not a Healy.
Oh, out of the endo, you can do all three turns.
I never thought so, but Mama said, yes, I can, bitch.
Okay, good to know.
So, you guys, I will try to do a show. I do work tomorrow evening, so if we do a show, it'll be like around 4, where we'll do clips and stuff. And if it was not tomorrow, it'd be Saturday. And but I promise y'all a real show. Well, this was a real show, and this is gonna go up on Twitter in like an hour. But I promise y'all a video show sometime this weekend. Oscar, how can the people find you, friend?
Find me at Catfish Crenshaw or Gymnastics Saves Lives.
Perfect. Y'all know y'all can find me at Michaela Loves Gymnastics everywhere. Um, this was wonderful. I think I got a lot of shit off my chest about this thing. I don't know about you.
No, it
Um,
was great fun.
and we will talk to you guys later. Thank you, Oscar, friend. I'll talk to you later too. Bye, everybody.
Bye.